Demonic Angel, and today we have one of my all-time favorite cards, the Hangman. And just wanted to let you guys know that my next live stream will be Saturday, May 8th. Just hang out, Left Hand Path chat, whatever. Really talk about random stuff. That's totally fine. Yeah, so anyway, let's get into today's card is the Hangman. And this is one of my favorite cards because this does kind of remind me of the story of Odin. So Odin is a Norse god who he chooses to pluck out his own eye for knowledge. And a lot of other gods have come to this one god. I think the name is Mimir. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but he goes to Mimir trying to, get some knowledge, and Mimir says that no one has ever wanted to pass the test before, which is, plucking out your own eye. But Odin does that because he thinks that knowledge is very important. And he also commits ritualistic symbolic suicide by basically charging onto a spear. In some versions it's a drinking horn, but he kills himself. And but this is very much tied to the idea of the god's consciousness choosing to incarnate as human beings to gain painful knowledge through the experience of being a person, through because it's not easy, to be people. And the gods know this, but they still want to be human. That's the ultimate knowledge. The ultimate knowledge is, living a human life. And Odin also hangs himself from the Tree of Life for 9 days and 9 nights so that he can gain knowledge of how to read the runes as he travels in different dimensions. That literally is, the different dimensions of the astral plane and the physical plane. So in this case, Odin, a god, wants to travel to the physical plane to gain ultimate knowledge through sacrifice. As we mentioned, because, being human just is not easy. So this is a really great card in all these other ways too, but I had to talk about Odin real quick. We do have the leaves, and that's very symbolic of fertility. So through this sacrifice, this self-sacrifice, things are going to come from that are going to be fruitful, that are going to be good investments, things like that, that even though this is really hard, this is going to bear fruit. And, then we have the guy who he really kind of has a calm, look on his face. Even though he's choosing to hang himself upside down, he believes it so much in what he is doing that he still has his hands behind his back. He trusts it. It's complete. It's like an act of complete faith in your sacrifice that you're choosing. And he, even though this is probably physically painful to hang upside down, he is calm because he knows that this suffering has so much rich meaning in it, that by choosing to do a variety of things that I've talked about with clients, such as a guy, he decided to take in his elderly mother to care for her, and she passed away after a few years, but of course he inherited her things, but at the same time, he did come back to me and say, hey, it was taking care of my mom. It was a sacrifice. I sacrificed all this money and my home, and I just tried my best to care for her. But I got so much out of it. All the memories and knowing that I was the one, her son, helped her and made her final years comfortable is, something I get to have forever. And I think that really is another kind of story that illustrates this hanged man, of that choice of suffering. Understanding that, going, through something hard does have its rewards, and that reward is knowledge. So, he has the little halo, which is basically symbolizing that he is trying to attain enlightenment through putting himself through knowledge. And the blue is about the spiritual, the quest for knowledge, the participation, and the red is tied to the earth plane, the physical plane. So, he has one foot tied to this, and that's kind of, once again emphasizing that he's choosing to do this because it would be really, really painful to like hang upside down by one foot. So now we know, because he's got this calm face, that this is his choice. So a lot of times with, the hanged man upright with the hanged man, we do see somebody who is choosing to take a step back from such a fast-paced life in order to find themselves. So, kind of just cutting oneself off from, let's say, television constantly, just the same day in and day out routine, which will eventually make you lose your sense of time and space. And then you'll say, hey, time really flies by, but it's really just your perception that, it's really good for our minds to change up this routine. So you deliberately change, habits that are not easy to break to, accomplish something for the betterment of your health, let's say. You're going to quit smoking. It's a sacrifice. It's not going to be fun. Withdrawals, the psychological aspects of that kind of fun stuff, right? But it's going to be worth it because, you're going to breathe better. Your body can heal so much. The body really can heal. And you change a habit and it really adds up. And eventually you'll have the real reward too. I mean, chemical, spiritual, which would be you'd have like some more energy, and that the long-term payoff is just so great with this hangman that it's just a major shift in perspective. So it's choosing to sort of do that. Sometimes with like, the reversed hangman, this can indicate to me that there's external factors. So let's say like a guy in his 20s loses a job and now he returns home to live with his parents because he ran out of money. That's not choosing to like go live frugally or something. That is, being forced back into this situation of dependence. And, a lot of times our immediate reaction to that as people is to just become angry about it and be like, oh, this isn't what I wanted, if only things had been different. That self-loathing when our circumstances really aren't the way we just exactly want them. And you know, just remember, you can just take that and turn it around and make it, you know, that reminder that even though you might be forced into a situation due to divorce, parents, things like that, and now you have way less income, a job loss, a major thing that's just like forced upon you, that, you know, remain calm and, you know, really keep grounded and think rationally, and it will pay off for you in the long run because you'll learn so much. You start back from the bottom, from, you know, take a step back, you know, like, because what you'll have when you climb out of that is to know that, you know, you really started to just get accustomed to all the luxurious things that come with success. But you know, you fall a little bit, you lose a little bit of money, things like that, then you remember how much the small things in life matter and how much building from the bottom, that whole journey is just so rich. And you can take this opportunity to grow so much internally, and it will make you a richer person for it. And you know, I just hope you guys enjoyed my interpretation of the Hangman. And next we'll do two of want.